Who are they? Waiting for the green light. Waiting for the green light. Hello and welcome everyone to the weekly review number 12. Man, it has been a while. I'm not sure if 2 weeks or 3 weeks passed, but a lot of time passed. A lot of communication, a lot of. I got another artist that's willing to work with me, and I'm really happy with that. I mean, I can't imagine how good they are, and they yet want to work with me. It's really good to have them both, and hopefully we will be a great team. So what have I done the last weeks other than finding artists and communicate with them? I made a few things, so let's take a look on that. First of all, and I have a new game idea, but I'm not going to spoil the story or the idea, but it was belonged to the Zanga game, but unfortunately couldn't do crap a lot at that time. So decided to continue working on it and make it as my first commercial game. And the only clue of the game I'm not going to give you is the name, is what is game or what is video game. So here you can see the profile selection. The GUI is not that great. I could use something like some title saying select your profile or whatever. So all my games profiles should be located on the Windows computer on one location. But when I start porting my games to the Linux and Mac and whatever, I need to find out a way. And the game engine already have a function that should change the place where the files are saved based on the operation system. But anyhow, I have no clue where to save them in other games. So these are the profiles, and you can see them in here. So let's create a new one and call it yes, the text marker position screwed up. I made the calculation based on the text box font size, and my calculation is not that good. This page need a lot of yeah. This one didn't call the text wrapper. If I change it to Arabic and then English again, it will look as I wanted, but it's look ugly as well. So let's make test 1, and here اختبار واحد, and I'm going to let the profile actually use the Arabic name. And you see in this game we can actually use either avatar 1 or 2, but the default is 0. Actually this is 6 and 7. The default is 0, and I should change the default for this game, silly me. So let me pick this one and click OK. So we can log out and we go down, and look at that, the name is way out of the box because I changed the size of this box without changing this, the position of the text. Silly me. So yeah, we can pick it up and we can log out and we can pick it up again. The other game I have, the arcade, it has a similar thing, but you can see it's totally different because the arcade have 4 players and its own project, its own game, and it have auto login mechanism. We could log out and we can log in. And not only that, you can create new accounts, but this page is placeholder, I never change it. Let's call it test 2 اختبار 2, and you can see the image in here. It have different avatars from 0 to 4 or from 1 to 5 or whatever. So let's pick this one, and I'm not going to pick the English name this time. So it's funny, it doesn't auto log in after I finish creating the account. So you can go here and select the account we just created. If we go to the folders in here, you'll see we will have test 1 and test 2. The data files are only saved in English, but anyway. Here, if I click on the image, I can change the avatar. And as you can see, I can change the avatar, just the ones that the game support. But that's what I was working the last 2 weeks. If you go here, you can change the avatars that the game support too. But my accounts are universal. What does that mean? Is if I can see the other accounts in the game. So if I select the test 2, which made from the arcade game, the different project, here it should tell me. It didn't tell me. Why is that? Because only the arcade tells me. Here it updated the account to support the different games. Test 2 has been made from the arcade game, and because it has been made by the arcade game, it already supports the first 5 avatars. But because we log in with the different game, we can now pick different avatars for it from this game. What I'm trying to say, you can move your own avatars, achievements, and even some of the equipments from different games that's made by my own game engine. I can make a universal bag, just like if you watch Hunter x Hunter manga, and when you can access this bag and you can upgrade it somehow, and you can put equipments in it that or items that can be taken in different games. And I'm really happy, and I wasn't expecting to finish this as soon as now, but because I have 3 different game projects that's running on my game engine, I could make tests and finish this mechanism. Same with the arcade. If I joined with the test 1, which was made by... Oh, I didn't save test 2. Oh no, I'm logged in with test 2. But why test 2 look different? Oh, because I didn't exit and save the avatar. Oh well. So when I joined here with test 1, which was made by the new game, What is a Game? Here it will say the profile test 1 doesn't contain this game data. Additional data will add it to the profile. And if I click on the avatar, you will see the first 2 avatars from the original account. Yeah, it memorized the order. Can be chosen here, and then the additional data that has been added by this own game has been added here. So if you have a video game that I made that you finished the game on extra difficulty or extra hard or whatever, or very hard, I can make an achievement that unlock a special avatar for that game, and you can use it in all the games I made. And that's the plan, similar to Blizzard Universal account. So this is one of the things that I finished doing. The second thing is the conversation system. I made 2 conversations, and I worked a lot on the page for the conversation in the map simulator. So we can generate conversations. We can pick them from the campaign. They are campaign related. And as I said 2 years ago, when I was 3 years ago, sorry. It was one of the first few things I ever done in the game engine. I was talking about an imaginary dialogue system. Actually, this is a conversation system built on the dialogue system. This is the dialogue system. It can be loaded from the core game file or the campaign, and it supports the dialogues and the choices and different languages. Here in the campaign itself, I made the conversation system where it takes the dialogues and order them in one conversation shot. And this conversation system memorize or manage the data in an abstract way, like having the word size for the conversation type, the size of the character. Imagine if you play Disgaea, one of the versions, and remember the conversation system in this key, I can show some of the images, for examples, like the conversation system or dialogue system. So this seems a PSP version, that's why the font is so large, or maybe the Game Boy or something. I don't remember, the font is large, but you see different characters can have one side and other characters on one side. Later on, they made the character who's talking more illuminated and the others have more shade on them to focus on who's talking. In the newer versions, the older versions, all of them have the same light value. But they have sides in here. Sometimes you can see even 3 and 4 characters on one side. So it depends on who talking to who, you see the different sides. You have Morrowind. Morrowind, you will see the character in front of you. And this is edited. And you will see a huge choices in here on the right, and whenever you click on one, it will add a text to the box, and it have linked texts in here that when you click on them, they will add other choices, and the character will tell you even more. You have Mass Effect. In Mass Effect, it's easier. When the characters talk, it's usually voice acted. And when you get the choices, you get something like this, and you can choose one of them. And usually, the right side is the good thing, and the left side is a bad thing or something. So they have some kind of, like, what do you call it? A style. So you can figure out when you play it if there's a good side or a bad side. I remember they were red and blue or something. You have Neverwinter Night. You have Metal Gear on the radio. So different games make different kind of dialogues and conversation system. So I successfully, hopefully, made an abstract system that based on the conversation type here. Different games can support even different types of conversation. Like one of them is a radio, the other one is like this gear, one of them is like, I don't know, hacking, or is like Morrowind, that have a lot of choices. The same game can support different types of conversation. And I made 2 conversations, one with just next, and it will finish the sentence. But the last one, the end, I didn't program the tag to work. It won't disappear. And the other one have some choices here, and you will see about it. So let's test the first conversation type. So let's select the new account that we just made. I need to write down that I need to fix the Arabic because I changed the side. So I made 2 avatars pages, one for David Hume and the other one is to Immanuel Kant, 2 great philosophers, and I made them to just talk. So the conversation system, because it uses dialogue system, it supports multi-languages, and yes, I'm bragging about that, and yes, I'm happy with it. A few things are annoying is I should make another chat box that's invisible, and it started in here and it take the rest of the screen, so I can add the talker in here. So this is one of the things I need. The other thing is I add actually shade values to the talker. So here when you select the talker, this is how dark he is. Yes, I'm stealing the idea from the newer versions. So you can see who's talking in a clearer way. And oh yes, this is the one who's talking. This is the image for the who's talking. So if I click space or enter, and recently I add the mouse, the conversation will just keep going, because here, if you go to the conversation one, you'll see this one will take you to the next one, this one will take you to the next one, next one, next one, done. So here they will keep talking. And why the choice popped up? What the hell? Give me a second. Oh, I add an imaginary choice just for testing purposes, and it showed up in here. It's funny because it showed you an error that I want to talk about later on. So here, the fourth one, it showed you a choice. I added just for testing purposes, that if I can load the choices in the right way or not, but I forgot to remove it. Silly me. So this is the first conversation, which is the testing, and the second one has more detail. So I would like to ask thee a question. This is David Hume. Later on I will add the image and make him illuminate when I make the shader system first. Yeah, I need to work on the shader systems really soon. Go ahead. So we can ask him about knowledge, about experience, about happiness, about life, about yourself, and goodbye. Oh yeah, I need to fix the position of the text. So if you ask him about knowledge, he will say, all our knowledge begins with the sense process, or proceeds then to the go understanding, and ends with reason. There is nothing higher than reason. Science is organized knowledge. Wisdom is organized life. And he gave you the choices again. And every time you click on him, he will start a cycle. This one should start the first conversation. If we go here, this one give you the choices, the buttons, and these ones will just connect to each other, and then it return to the buttons when it's finished the conversation. I can make it go back and forth and add more talkers to the right, add more talkers to the left. Maybe the test 3 I will add more, and people will go and return and stuff after the adding the shaders and stuff. So one of the few things that I screwed up heavily is the Arabic. I didn't decrypt the numbers. This is how the game engine see the Arabic language actually. It see their forms in numerical values. And actually they are reversed actually, because I don't have 931, it's 139. I need to decrypt this crap just like that, because these are taken from the choices. And it returned the original value. So yeah, I need to check if it's decrypted or not, and then encrypted or not, and decrypted. And that's it. I have a few things to do. I need to make a tag. This one. No, not this one. Where is it? Ask about yourself. Oh, okay. So this one, start test conversation number 0, which, or number 1 or whatever, without the number actually. So I need to add a script. I need to implement this one to start the new conversation and get out from the current one. And the end, it should end the conversation. Of course, I can add more tags, like to do stuff, the other stuff, like move the players to another position or whatever in the map or whatever. And yeah, that's what I've done so far in the last 2 weeks. The universal accounts, this pages, the 3 of them. This one exists before. This one wasn't as 10% complex as now. I add bunch of stuff and implemented bunch of stuff to help me to add the conversation easier way. And yeah, the first conversation system example in here. It have tons of flaws. It's not that great, but I'm happy with it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.